Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another coffee rant with Dano and Frank, our Patriot Bald Eagle. Tonight we're going to be talking about grocery prices literally going through the roof. Prices are starting to skyrocket. We're seeing them on multiple different items. We all said this was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. We said that it would. I had a feeling we would get to the beginning of fall. It looks like here at the end of summer, it is a full-on onslaught of price increases at the grocery stores. Food is going up, and it's something we're gonna have to pay attention to because it's getting ridiculous. I heard and $19.99 a pound for ribeyes at Meijer. I went to Meijer today. Me and Jessica went to Meijer, did some shopping, took advantage of some of the five buy five, save five deal, or more, where we did get some pretty good deals and there's some pretty good sales. However, we're starting to see a lot of price increases on produce. I know people are going to say things in season, out of season. Guys, it doesn't matter anymore. It's just, it's getting way too expensive. We're seeing onions go up again. We saw onions last year where they had went up significantly. I don't even know if we can find onions for less than $1 anymore. The only time I've seen any good deals on onions is, surprisingly and ironic, Meijer, when they have their 7 for 7 or more deal, when we would find those 3-pound bags of onions for $1. Don't know if we're going to be seeing that sale anymore. We're finding other things too, guys. We are finding heads of lettuce. Heads of lettuce well over $2 now. I saw a head of lettuce at Meijer for $2.39. I saw a stalk of celery for $2.39, but it's everywhere. We've even seen at Aldi where heads of lettuce have gone up over $2. That's a problem. That's a problem. And, with all these different things, with the taxes and all the tariffs, people, I understand there's a lot of different things going on that have to do with beef prices that continuously rise. If you remember last year, we were talking about a lot of the different farmers and people were saying that, well, beef prices are going to start coming down in March. Of course, we heard the same thing about eggs too. And they haven't. Eggs went down enough to only go back up in price. We've been finding 12 count of store brand eggs for well over $3 again. Now, the cheapest that I've seen has been at Aldi for $2.72. I think they were that price at Walmart. We're going to have to get back to Walmart and check their prices again. But I'll tell you what, guys, there's just one thing after the other. We've already talked about ramen noodles. Ramen noodles are going up everywhere. Surprisingly, we have been seeing some sales on it lately, so the first initial wave of the regular prices of ramen noodles are there. 6-packs at Kroger for $2.49. I still saw them at Meijer for $1.99. And most 12-packs are going to be anywhere from $3.95 at Aldi to $3.97 at Walmart to $3.99 at Kroger. Coffee prices have gone up again. Now, we did a video covering all of the different coffee prices, but I will say they're going up everywhere else now. We first saw it at Kroger. Now, let's dial back a couple months ago. Folgers and Maxwell House have both gone up $4 on the medium-sized canisters of coffee. $4. They went from $12.99 in June to $14.99 near the end of June, and now $16.99 for the same thing. It's gone up another $2. Maxwell House has gone up another $2 from $13.99 to $15.99 in a lot of places. I saw where Folgers just went up at Meijer from $14.69 to $16.69, so 30 cents cheaper than Kroger, but still, it's ridiculous. And guys, the meat prices, I did find some sales, at Meijer, which I'll leave that, check that video out tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Even if you don't have Meijer, I encourage you watch this video because it is a real eye-opener. Make sure you alert notifications on our channel so that you always know when we have a new upload. It's just getting really crazy, guys. Really crazy. It's kind of happening the way it did last year. A lot of the things that were directing us in certain ways, right? Because with the metal and all those tariffs and everything and taxes, whatever, right? Well, we're not seeing as significant price increases on those things as we are all these other things, like, I don't know, bread, pasta sauce. Pasta sauce is going up for whatever weird reason. Those are in jars, glass. Most of them. I mean, cans, but the cans are still the same price for now. We've seen where a significant amount of different soups have gone up. We've seen where Progresso soup has gone up over the last month or so. We see where Campbell's has gone up over the last month or so. Campbell's also went up at Walmart, right? Still cheaper on the regular price. We always talk about regular prices are usually a little cheaper at Walmart. But, you know, and this is why we talk about buying up the sales when we see them. Right now, Kroger has the Campbell's Chunky Soups for $1.79 a can. How long that lasts, if the regular price goes up again, that could force the sale price to go up again or them to take it off entirely. We never really know. We never really know. Also, I am drinking that Italian coffee that I got from Home Goods the other day. I gotta say, it's good. It's pretty strong. It kind of tastes like espresso in a way, though. It kind of tastes like Cafe Bustelo. Have you ever had Cafe Bustelo? It's good, but it's strong. I don't really know how to talk. All right, I didn't really know how to start this video off today, guys, because I got to tell you, as I know you're about as sick as I am of hearing this news constantly. I just read something also about the radioactive shrimp, right? The recall at Walmart. I don't know what places. I've tried to research a little bit of what other shrimp is on that recall. I haven't found anything that is solid information other than it could be spreading out with other places. But I don't really know. They don't really go into it. So we may have an update on that here in a day or two when there's more information. I did want to mention that, though, because you guys have been sending me emails and talking about it in the comments that this shrimp recall has expanded. But there's no, like most of you guys know, I like to do a lot of research before we really dive deep. But I'm just telling you this as a public service announcement. So, you know, if you buy any frozen shrimp, I would definitely look at the FDA website or just Google frozen shrimp recall, and you will have a slew of different news articles, and that could be changing by the minute. They could be updating that as we're having this conversation right now. So things are getting pretty nuts in the grocery stores. You know, like I said, we said this was going to happen. We knew that when we started hearing about all of these different other things that were going to go up in price, that this was going to have a domino effect on a lot of other things. We're seeing cleaners start to go up in price too. It's not just food. It's not just groceries. We're seeing laundry detergent. We're seeing dish soap. We're seeing soap that you wash body with. We're seeing even at an outrageously overpriced deodorants, we're seeing these go up another $1 as well. I saw the Old Spice one that I used to use go up another $1. They're like $7 now. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Even when you look at, even when you look at stuff on Amazon, now Amazon's cheap. A lot of it's cheap. You can usually find stuff, even if you can't find it on Amazon right away for the price that you want, wait a day or two. We've done that before and found the right price. Guys, it's like it's even hitting like Amazon. I know a lot of you guys have been talking about Walmart Plus having issues where you've had to pay more for the product. You're looking at the product online, and then when you go to order it, it says, well, this is going to cost more for this. We're seeing that more and more too. And we see that with a lot of different places. Like if you order online, you may actually be paying more for the regular price on top of maybe paying for delivery. It's like the double-edged sword, guys. It just, so buckle your seatbelts. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot more things go up here in the beginning of fall. That was kind of the initial thoughts of a lot of people, that when fall comes around, and we're not seeing the kind of sale. I don't think we're going to see the kind of sales on things that are in harvest, like apples, and some other different, pumpkins. And some pumpkins are going to be expensive. I remember last year, pumpkins got really expensive. And if I could recommend anything, if you're buying pumpkins, whether it's for like eating pumpkins or pie pumpkins or just Halloween carving pumpkins, I would wait. I wouldn't, because I remember last year, and some of you guys might remember too, when pumpkins first came out, they were insanely stupid expensive. stupid expensive. I mean, they were like $7.99, $8.99. Some of them even $10 for like some of the bigger ones. But then in some couple odd places, we were finding them for like $5.99, $6.99. So wait for that first initial wave, right? Because they want to try and get as much money as possible as soon as they start coming out. Wait until they get a little cheaper. Sometimes at Kroger, they'll have like a 2 for $9 deal. I think the one they had last year, 2 for $9, but you don't have to buy two. You can just use your Kroger Plus card, buy one for $4.50. That's what we did. But we're seeing all kinds of things go up, guys. It is just getting completely outrageous. And we just, like I said, we got to pay attention to these things. I'm going to pay attention to them for you so that we can kind of, go over these things. And, me and Jessica are going on a trip here next month. Not going to be able to do a lot of different stores. Obviously, we're going to be doing some entertaining videos. So again, make sure you alert the notification bell so that you are aware of every video we put out. We're going to put out some entertaining videos, kind of take our minds off of the doom and gloom for a couple weeks at least, or for a week, just enough time to kind of just decompress and relax from all this. Because, guys, it is frustrating a lot of people. I actually mentioned this in tomorrow's video, but I overheard a guy walking by in Meyer today talking to his wife, and me and Jess were walking by, and he was saying, ribeyes, $19.99 a pound. I can't believe it. That is absolute insanity. Guys, it is. And the sad thing is that people must be buying them. Everybody must be buying these steaks at these prices, or they would not be these prices. I can assume. I assume, right? Because that's usually the what you do, is that if it just sits there, well, then the price has to drop. Or they're going to waste all that money buying it initially and have to throw it away, I guess. It's sickening. I mean, it's sickening all around. I saw something the other day. Now, I don't know. I was kind of reading through something, and I saw these car things. Sometimes I'll look up stuff with cars. And I saw for a couple different sites. One of them was Buick. One was Chevy. And they were talking about like 9% interest rates on cars for well-qualified buyers, meaning you have to have great credit to get 9% interest on a new car. I'm actually feeling pretty good now that I bought my car a couple years ago. I mean, it's nuts, guys. It's really crazy, and I know, like, I've spoken to some realtors. I've spoken to a lot of people with houses, and they feel like, I don't know about a crash, but they keep talking about interest rates and stuff. Well, I feel like when the interest rates drop half a point on a house, which can mean thousands of dollars, the prices are going up on the house. And I understand it would be better to pay more on the price of the house and less interest, right? Because you're paying ultimately less over time. But it's like, I have friends and family, and even you guys who I've talked to over the last couple years, and it is just absolute insanity how much some of these houses are going for. I mean, I've seen houses that are $150,000 to $200,000 that were built in 1920. I saw one. It went like $270,000 for this house. And it needs work. It needs work. If I'm paying $270,000 for a house, I understand if you live on the East or West Coast, this is probably like chump change to you, but it's different money. It's a different system. It's like, to us, that is a lot of money. Maybe out in, Boston or New York, that might not be much, but guys, I'll tell you what, that's a fortune here in the Midwest. Things are different. Things operate differently here. And that could be a part of the reason why a lot of people from California and a lot of people from the East Coast are moving to the Midwest, because it has just gotten too unaffordable. I forget what my uncle paid for his house out in California. He has passed away a few years ago, so rest in peace to my uncle. But I know that I was talking to my mom, and she said when his house sold, and it was way less than this. I think he paid somewhere right around $100,000, like 20 something years ago, maybe 30 years ago. I think the house just sold for over $1 million. Now it's in Anaheim. Okay, so Anaheim is a pretty wealthy area nowadays. And it's literally right down the street from Disneyland. But that house sold for like right around $1 million. And I'm just like, my goodness, and it's not even that big of a house. And I'm like, yeah, you're 10 minutes from Huntington Beach or, 10 minutes from Disneyland. I mean, it's the area there has gotten pretty popular over the years. But I'm just thinking to myself, like, how the heck? I mean, unless you're rich, I guess. And hey, if you are, good for you. I could never afford a house like that. Nor would I really want to. I don't even know how, you guys know I'm decent at math. But I mean, my goodness, my brain doesn't calculate that high. I haven't reached that level, So like and subscribe, keep building the channel here, and maybe someday me and Jess can buy $1 million house. I don't need $1 million. I just need a house. I don't need that, right? But I don't want to spend $250,000 to $300,000 on a house that needs freaking work. I keep doing all this research. I drive myself sick looking at all this stuff, and it's like, I know it's crazy to compare these things to like grocery prices and stuff, but guys, everything affects everything. The guy who's rich is paying the same amount for eggs as you are and me, and they're complaining about it too. Therefore, the anger in the grocery stores is not just for the poor or, the middle class or the rich. Everybody has one thing in common here, and that grocery prices are way overpriced. I go through the stores and we do these videos and I show you the deals and everything. People say, well, that's not a deal. That's not a deal. I know it isn't. I know. We all know it's not. I'm just showing the best price available, right? It's like I'm not going to go into a place and be like, oh, well, that's on sale for $2. That's terrible. It was $1.50 less last year. I would drive myself sick if I went in with that kind of attitude. I just can't. But trust me, I'm with you. I understand. I completely understand. Like I've told you guys a lot in the past, my videos are over an hour to an hour and a half long. I edit the videos down to whatever I can to where it seems fit for a good video for the next day. There's a lot of anger speech, a lot of hate toward grocery stores that I just blurt out there, but I edit all that stuff out. Who knows? Maybe someday we'll have a blooper reel or something, because a lot of it is probably pretty funny, but a lot of it is serious. And everybody, I do get angry. I do. I get really angry at the grocery stores. I get really angry at the greed and the price gouging and everything else that all you guys have mentioned. I get really angry at that stuff, but I just can't. I have to focus on the now and what do we do in the future, right? And I guess that's kind of where me and Jess, we're taking you on the path of what we do in the grocery stores and how the only way we're able to save money doing it, right? It's like today, Jess came with me to Meijer. She and we don't really go over a lot of the stuff we buy, but she literally separates all the buy 5 and save 5 stuff, and she puts it on one side of the cart for a couple reasons, which I'll go over in a second. And then everything that was on sale that's not on that deal is on the other side of the cart. And the reason for that is because she'll literally go through the store, and I'm doing the video, so she knows I'm having to work with that. But she'll come by, we'll meet up, and then she'll say, is this a good deal? Like, is this better at Kroger? And she goes through all this stuff to make sure that we can't get it cheaper somewhere else. And why she separates the buy 5 deal is because there's always that confusing factor of the machines might mess up. I've had things mess up on me before where we're paying more for it. And, and today was a bit of a big shopping. And I made sure that the buy 5, the deal that they have going on, the Meijer deal, which is just a play on words from the same deal as Kroger, if you ask me. But it's buy 5 and save 5 or more. And they don't even say that on the ad. It doesn't say or more on the ad. It will say or more on the stickers. Very confusing. Very confusing. And, it is trickery. Yeah, it's in the words and it's in the saying, but they never actually say whether you have to buy multiples or whether you can just go over 5. Well, we found out again, and we've done this several times, but we still like to know that if we have 17 items, we're still getting the deal, which we did today. Actually, it was 21 items that we had. 21 items, 21 items, and we got the sale on all of them. So it's not multiples of 5. It is over that. At least here in Cincinnati, Ohio, they might do it differently at other Meijer. I really don't know. But we're smart shoppers. We're smart shoppers. We're not going to overpay. Jess, it thinks like I do when it comes to grocery shopping and saving money, because we do everything to save money in life. We go to Disney a lot. We do a lot of traveling. We do a lot of vacation. Well, there's a lot of planning in that. And yes, it may cost a little bit at first, but there's other ways to save. There's different, look into different. I don't ever recommend anybody. Well, it's not that I don't recommend, but it's like if you have a way to save more money in the grocery stores or traveling, like said credit card, right, with a company, whether it's flying or traveling, or if that credit card is going to give you money back, which I have in some different things. I won't mention which those are, but I have money that I get back for spending things. And when you spend and you get money back, it's free money. It's free money. So that's one thing, or buying, like most of you guys know, we have annual passes to a lot of places we go. Kings Island, the Cincinnati Zoo, the Newport Aquarium, Disney World, right? Big money savers. That is how we are able to save. And not only that, a lot of these other incentives like percentages off meals, percentages off merchandise, these kind of things. It all has to do with how much can we save. Yes, some of these things are pretty expensive, but you know what? Happy wife, happy life, happy spouse, happy house, whatever you want to say. Me and Jessica are happy, and we enjoy what we do. And, the kind of money that we save by shopping the way that we do is why we're able to do the other fun things. Me and Jessica are both good at savings. And, a lot of stuff I haven't gone into on the channel here. And it's we just don't talk about some of these things. But if I think it's something that's going to be very useful on the channel and things to talk about. And sometimes when we travel, we'll talk about different things that we've saved on and stuff. But really, for the most part, people don't really need to know what we buy at the grocery store. I'm literally just showing the deals and how we're doing the deals, and how if you want to save money in the future, this is one way that you can do that, shopping the way that we do. And if it works for you, cool. If it doesn't, I know that a lot of you guys are watching us pure for entertainment and enjoyment and just hanging out, watching, maybe eating some popcorn or breakfast because our videos come out so early. But excuse me. All that, the temperature's been going down a little bit. I feel like I don't know if it's the pollen or ragweed or something, but I'm definitely starting to, if you hear some nasal stuff, I got some allergies going on. But fact of the matter is that any way that we can save on these things in the future, we need to do. And, when I first started this channel later on, probably about a year, because when we first started, we were trying to figure out what we were doing. We were just on here trying to just provide entertainment. This was back during 2020, so it was pretty gloomy back then. So we were looking for stuff to do, and it was like, we'll just do some travels, and then we got into, well, how can we do something that helps us, that is frustrating for everyday life, but what is our little niche on how we can do something to kind of show everybody, like, hey, you know what, this ain't here, we'll find it here. Like the whole initial idea, and we started getting a lot of viewers from this, was a lot of the grocery stores were empty. They were like empty shelves back in 2021. And it was like there wasn't stuff coming in. So I was literally traveling from place to place, and people just started talking about, like, I can't find this, I can't find this, I can't find this. I was going to stores all over. Like, well, okay, they don't have spices here. Did you check Target? I know most people may not think to check Target, but they're loaded down here. or Meijer. I'm just using it as an example, but I mean, we would find other places, like Dollar General or Dollar Tree or, some other different places that we would personally go out and look around to try and find the items for you. And that's really kind of where this all started. And then it kind of had that whole explosion of price increases at the grocery stores. And it was like, whoa, not only are products not coming in, but prices are doubling. And it was like, from then on, it was like, well, this is a situation that could get bad. We didn't know how things were going to be a few years ago. And now we're kind of pulled out of that gloom of the past of 2020 through 2021, even into 2022. But here we are with all these other things happening. And I don't care what anybody says. This was going to happen anyway. This is the divine plan of people just wanting to get over rich, right? Because that's what's happening. That's the big thing here is people are they're like, well, I know I'm a business owner and I'm a multi-millionaire, but I need to be a billionaire. That way, in case anything ever happens back like in 2020, I can just go dig a hole underground and be set. That's probably the mindset of a lot of these guys. It's probably the mindset of a lot of people, is that they got to get so rich that they can just leave if something happens and never have to do it again. And I guess in some ways or another, we are blessed, right? We're blessed to have a bunch of grocery stores. We're blessed to have Kroger. We're blessed to have Meijer. We're blessed to have Walmart. We're blessed to have all these different supermarkets, Publix, all over the country. Right? Or around the world, we're blessed to have these places because we can walk into a grocery store. You don't have to be a farmer. You don't even have to know how to cook. You can, we have viewers on the channel. I know you guys stock up on microwave meals. That is how you eat. Hey, no judgment here. There's never been any judgment on this channel. And I would prefer that if people want to mention, people have left so many nasty comments on some things that it's like, I know some of our viewers, they email me, and that's fine. That's fine. Continue to do so for as long as, I don't know. The bigger we get, the more nasty comments we get. But there are literally people, viewers, friends of mine on the channel that don't want to comment about Stouffer's or Lean Cuisine or Healthy Choice Meals because they're afraid of the backlash they're going to get from some nasty person just trolling through. I just don't understand some of the ugliness, guys. I really don't. I just don't. And I understand that some people just driving through, just anger bots or whatever. I don't really know. I just don't understand. And I'll say this: say whatever you want about Lean Cuisine or Stouffer's. If that's what you like, that's what I'm going to find for you. As a matter of fact, people haven't mentioned those in a long time, but I remember who you are, and I know you're still watching. And I still point these deals out. I still point them out because I know that this may help somebody. A $2.50 full meal is hard to beat these days. And when you can get 4 meals for $10 or more, usually it's like 4 or more, but you get these meals for $2.50. And, people say, oh, those are terrible for you. Those are terrible. You know what? No judgment here. No judgment here. If that's what you're looking for, that's what Dano's going to find for you. I grow tired of people like, and I understand some people just being funny. People, I've always mentioned, if you want to eat a bowl of Reese Cups for dinner, hey, that's your whatever you want to do. No judgment. Right. I understand a lot of that's a joke because I've used that as a example before. But, it is what it is. We're going to always look for the deals, find the deals, just do what I do. Right. I enjoy doing what I do. I enjoy going to the stores. Some person keeps saying over and over, you live in the grocery stores. You live in the grocery stores. I absolutely do. And I enjoy it. I enjoy pointing out these things, maybe possibly showing you something that maybe you've never seen before. Or maybe you've never thought that this was trickery. Or maybe you never thought that this was a good deal. Or people that struggle with digital coupons. It can be a headache sometimes. But guys, I'll tell you what, we'll get through this like we do everything else. And it's going to all be great. It's going to all be okay. We'll get through this. One one way or another. You know, prices going up. We'll continue to find the sales. Thank you to everyone who has been tuning in lately, letting us know what's going on in your neck of the woods. And I will see you tomorrow morning with another video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.